Hello and welcome. This is Shauna from the Foil Fox, and I have a new release from Alexandra Renke. They do wonderful designs. We're going to take a closer look at all of these projects, but let's look at some of the new goodies. So we have the rose twine and the fern twine, and then the back in stock is the white, wonderful for embellishing your projects. And then to start out, these are the ornament with outline, they're called, and there's 3 different patterns we have, and you'll see later on how we use these, and also some projects from their design team. But they do these wonderful cutouts. You can decorate an envelope or your card or some packaging. This is the leaf trio, sweet leaves, and then this is an artist flower. They have several different artist flowers, and this is, I think they call this clover. Again, a little flower. And then they have a sentiment set, a happy birthday set, and look at all of those sentiments you get at happy birthday. Really a useful set. And then one of my favorites is the bucket with flowers. I don't know why, but this just is, I find, enchanting. And this, they sometimes call it chalice, or it's calyx, and it has this kind of buttercup flower. And this is what they call the negative flower, and you'll see later on why they call it that. And this is another artist flower, which is kind of like the seed head, of a dandelion when you blow it, and you get that kind of look to it. And here is a bud set, very sweet accent. And then a layered butterfly. I didn't have a chance to do a project with this one, but it's a very nice one. You'll see that later on. This is the dragonfly, and this is a film frame, a nice decorative frame. Oh, I got 2 of them in there. This is the twine heart. Wonderful for making anniversary cards or a wedding card, or anytime you want to send a little sweetheart. This is what's called the folded flower. This is a large artist flower, and it's very ingenious how this goes together and very playful. I just love it. Then we have some new stencils. This is the string of dots, and these are slimline, but you can use them different ways. This one has leaves, 3 different motifs, either the border or a little scattered or a circle. Same thing with these circle bubbles, where you have kind of a more abstract of bubbles, or the round. There's lots of ways you can use it. This is the cutting edge. This does different edges. And then last but not least is this wonderful design paper. Alexandra Renke is really known for their paper. They print their own, and you can see this motif. You can cut it up in different ways and get a different look, and you'll see how I used it a little later on. But let's start out with a quick look at the negative flower. This, as I mentioned, is really ingenious. This is just shows you how it cuts out. And it just doesn't cut it all out, but it just has these have dimensional leaves. And I backed it with pink here, so you can see the stems really show. And then I cut another set of the petals and glued those on top to give you that look. And then, of course, used the rose twine. Here is a closer look at that card, just so that you can really see more of the detail. Then moving on to the design team, these are some ideas that they made that I thought I would share with you today. And then here is the ornament with outline. And like I said, there's 3 different designs. I used just the one for this card. I just did a quick one just to show you how it cuts out. And I used the sentiments, the birthday sentiments. But I wanted to show you too some of the designs from the design team. But first, let's look at this with a closer look, just to give you an idea how intricate it is. Then I love the envelope on the right. Great way to embellish that, but the card is lovely too. Then this is that large artist flower. Just love how whimsical and dimensional it is. And then I used those clover flowers, and then the design paper, of course. And you can see I used a section of it, that section there of the design paper, and then used the rest for another project. But I just love how the way they do their designs. Here's a closer look of it, of their designs of their dies, because they're quite ingenious. And then this is another artist flower, 3 to be exact. And like I say, it's kind of like a seed head of a dandelion. Then next up is the butterfly. The butterfly, I didn't have a chance to do a project with this, as I said, but it's a wonderful layered butterfly. You can either make one butterfly or 2, depending upon how you want to make it. But here is a few designs from the design team. And this is the twine heart. Again, I just cut this out and watercolored it just to show you, but you could put a sentiment in the center, and it's great for any time that you want to send a really sweet heart, but especially nice for a wedding or an anniversary. Then this is that calyx flower, and it's kind of has a buttercup look to it. And then I used the bud set and the sentiment set. The frame, by the way, is by Penny Black. And then here are some ideas that the design team did that you can take a look. Really beautiful, very graceful, their designs. Then you may have seen this card. I made this card for my daughter for her birthday, and I shared it on the blog Tuesday, so you can see more detail if you'd like. I used that stencil with the leaves, and then the artist flower and the leaf trio, and then of course the dragonfly. If you want more details, do pop over to our blog at foilfox.com, and you can see that there's a lot more detail on this particular card. But here is a close-up of it, and I just love the way it turned out. Then this is one, as I mentioned, one of my favorites. This bucket with flowers. I don't know why it intrigues me, but it does. All the flowers are included along with the bucket, and then of course I had to add some little critters, some little squirrels. I have a lot of squirrels in my garden, and so I wanted to show you they're in the bucket of flowers too. Here is the folded flower. And I also use the string of pearls, a string of dots stencil. But this is the die that cuts out all of those pieces for the flower, and then it just makes this wonderful dimensional flower that's great for packaging or like a card. And of course, I used the rest of the paper that I had left over to make this card. And I just think it's a lovely, lovely dimensional thing. Great on packaging, as I mentioned. It's just a wonderful design. And that kind of concludes the quick look at our new goodies from Alexandra Renke. I hope you enjoyed them. Pop over to foilfox.com and check them out. There's a complete supply list down below. And as always, I'm so glad that you were with us, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.